What is that noise? What time is it? 3 in the morning. Oh, this can't be good. I better go check what's going on. What the? That wasn't there before. Where did this spaceship come from? Well, might as well check it out. Oh, it's dusty in here. No. Where's the spaceship taking me? Wow, look at the stars. Oh no, we're getting closer. We might crash into it. Whoa. What is happening? This solar system was inhabited by 2 guys, Peter Schmidt and Adam. Unfortunately, they died in some way and we don't know how. But your job, Cookie, is to figure out how they died and find out what they were looking for on those 4 planets. According to the diaries that they left, my mission is to find 4 different gems, 1 on each planet, and each gem is guarded by their own boss. There's the mythical gem, the corrosive gem, the light gem, and lastly the magma gem, which is the hardest one to get. And you need to find all 4 of the gems to activate the spaceship to leave this place before it's too late. Good luck. The very first thing I did, I opened the barrel to find myself a diary. I didn't read it just yet. I wanted to explore more of the spaceship. I ran into a couple of more barrels full of pumpkin seeds, melon seeds, and some dirt. I started climbing down the ladder and jumped down and broke my ankles onto the brand new planet. And let me tell you, the ground was pretty hard. But this universe was full of planets that I've never seen before. There was an acid looking one with a factory on top of it, a scary lava looking one with giant mushrooms everywhere, and lastly a planet with houses on top of it. People used to live here. I wondered what happened to those people. And on the planet I landed on, there was a Canadian flag with a chest underneath it greeting me with a whole bunch of necessities. There's some food and some saplings, another diary, and they left me with my own personal diary. I'm glad they left me some cookies though. I can eat my brothers and sisters. I then made myself a quick little tree farm, and as the sun went down, I decided to read the diaries all throughout the night to figure out why I'm here and how to get out of here. The first diary mentioned a missing mechanical piece that I have to find for the spaceship, and it got me thinking all throughout the night, how on earth am I supposed to find that? Bright and early on day 2, I started fisting down my wood. I then started making the basics like the crafting table and some wooden tools. I also knew my 600-pound life would get hungry quick, so I started constructing a potato farm. And looking down at the cave, I noticed some diamond ores staring at me, so I went down to explore. There were a lot of ores, but one thing caught my attention. There was fresh blood all over the cave floor. I slowly followed it and it led me into a beheaded man. As I walked further down the cave, there was even more heads. And at the very bottom, there was a sign saying rest in peace Adam Jackson. And inside the barrel, there it was, the missing mechanical part that I needed. Also his skeleton, his fresh head, and his knife. I had to pay my respects to Adam, so I made some fences and made him a little memorial. But it was mainly a scarecrow for my potato farm, and I really wanted these diamonds, but I couldn't get them. So I made a quick cobblestone generator and started mining away for some cobblestone all throughout the night as the sun set. Just a quick interruption, please don't forget to subscribe. Making this video took a very long time, and let's try to hit 2 million subscribers by the end of 2021. Let's go, Cookie Army. Back into the video. Once I had a stone pickaxe, I went back down into the mine to mine a ton of iron. Ended up with 50 iron ore and smelted it up. And I went for a little snack break. Once I came back, I made all of the basic iron tools, crafted myself some iron armor, and suited up. I accidentally made 2 pairs of pants though, so I kindly gave one to Adam. He needed to hide his junk. And I finally went back down into the mine to mine all of the diamonds in the caves. Once I was done, it was nighttime in this weird universe, so I made a bed and went to sleep. On day 5, I had to figure out where this missing mechanical part goes, and after reading the diary, it mentioned something about the cockpit of the ship. Once I climbed up, I placed the missing piece on the observer and I heard a tick. I'm not sure if that was good or bad, but I spent the rest of the day mining some wood and also mining some cobblestone. I needed resources for a new house, and after a whole day of resource gathering, I went to bed. On day 6, I started constructing my new house, or should I say my cobblestone shack. I didn't have a lot of room to build, so I had to make it as compact as possible, and it looks absolutely beautiful. I look at the little details and who am I kidding? And my first stop is going to be the mushroom planet. So in order to prepare, all throughout day 7, I went into the mines and collected all of the resources I could. Once the cave had nothing left, I started strip mining. And to my surprise, I mined into another portion of the cave that was hidden. I jumped down and found another barrel with rails and candles all over it. And inside the barrel, there was a fire charge, some TNT, a block of gold, and a block of iron. I'm not sure who put this here, but it's not really that helpful. I did end up stealing the candles though. This will come in handy. handy. But once I got back up on the surface, that voice crack. I started using the diamonds to make a pickaxe and went back down mining. As I continued strip mining, I ran into some more diamonds, also some iron, but amazingly, I ran into another hidden portion of the caves. And inside the barrel, there was some food, some grass, an iron pickaxe, and most importantly, there were leaves. I have been saved. Nah, I'm just kidding. But there was a bucket with an axolotl in it called Bubbles. I was not expecting that. On day 10, after waking up from my sleep, I used the leaves to cover my house. Now it looks a lot better. Honestly, I think it made me look a little more homeless. And it's pretty cold in this universe, so I placed down the candles and lit it up in my house for some warmth and some light. I also decided to put some candles next to my farm as well. They need some love too, especially if I'm gonna eat them. But with this axolotl that I found in the barrels, I will finally have a friend in this lonely universe. So I spent some time clearing out an area and mining a little hole in the ground for bubbles. Once the hole was complete, I filled it up with water and placed down Bubbles. And he was a blue axolotl, the rarest axolotl in Minecraft. And he looked pretty happy to finally be out of the bucket and in a swimming pool. On day 11, it was finally time to go visit the mushroom planet, which houses the mythical gem. And according to the diary, the mushroom planet will be the easiest boss to fight. I turned all of my deep slate blocks into slabs and I started bridging my way over to the new planet. Once I got up close, the planet was super detailed. Once I stepped foot on the planet, I ran into a house. It looked pretty cozy, but I just realized how big these mushrooms are. That's what she said. But as I walked into the house, I fell into a trap and landed right into lava. It scared the poop out of me. And at the bottom, there was a skull waiting for me. I wonder whose head that is. And inside the chest behind the skull, there was a golden apple and a panda spawn egg. Well, that was kind of terrifying. Once I got back up, I broke all of the carpets to make sure there were no other traps. And inside the barrel, there was a bunch of sand and a villager spawn egg. I can finally have a true friend. One villager in the game is more friends than me in real life. And the sun was setting, so I decided to sleep in the house. And right beside the house, there was a mine shaft leading into a cave. I ran down and it led me right into a dead end with a whole bunch of buttons all over the cave. And I was kind of worried. I thought if I clicked one of these buttons, it would lead me into a trap. And when I opened the barrel, there was nothing good inside it. And right then and there, I thought I was in danger. I think the barrel was bait. So I did what any logical person would do, and I started clicking all of the buttons. And I was waiting for something to happen, like TNT to blow up, or the floor would just suddenly disappear, and I would fall 100 blocks to my death, but nothing happened. Well, that was kind of anticlimactic. So I ran up the cave to explore more of the surface. I ran into another barrel with even more rabbit hide for some reason, and I was met with a zombie apocalypse. I have no idea where all these zombies came from, but luckily they were already burning, so one swing is all it took to kill them. Yeah, those zombies planned their attack at the worst time of the day. Not very smart. I then ran over to a campground with a tent and a campfire, and the fire was still burning, so whoever was here wasn't gone for long. And inside the chests, there were a whole bunch of saplings. And I found the fourth part of the diary. There was also a barrel underneath the tent, but it was all rabbit hides as well. Pretty useless. I ran into a couple of more barrels spread across the planet, but everything was pretty useless. And of course, with cookie fashion, a creeper had to sneak up on me and scare me. And the next two barrels I found was full of fungus, and that was when I knew all of the barrels were pretty much useless. I already have fungus in between my toes. I don't need to collect them in the barrels. I did spend some time looking at the mushrooms though. Maybe there were some hidden things around, but there was no luck. I had no idea where the mythical gem would be. That was until I ran into a hole in the ground. So I made my safe way down, and it led me into a huge cavern with dripstone all over it. And looking around a bit, I found a dude in the middle of the cavern, and I thought to myself, maybe that was Adam's friend. But as I got closer, he started waving his hands in the air like he was in the club, and then he pulled out his bow and arrow and started aiming at me. I blocked his first shot and started running away. I was way too scared, and I was taking a lot of shots running up the cave, and I ran all the way back home to get prepared for battle. I then started reading the diary that was left beside the tent, and I was told this planet was full of traps, and in one of the caves it holds the mythical gem, and the vindicator was guarding it. Or you can call him the weird looking dude with the big nose that was waving his arms around like he was at the club. Either name works. So I spent some time mining some more blocks to build with, upgraded to a diamond axe, and slept so I have more energy for the battle. On day 17, I went back for war. He wasn't paying attention, so I tried sneaking up behind him, and then he started waving his arms around again. Yeah, this guy's having way too much fun. But I blocked his first shot and went down for a hit, and I ended up killing him with my first swing. And just like that, he disappeared. That was a lot easier than I thought. And I thought that was a joke, so I started looking around, panicking, thinking there was more to come. But that was it. And I went over to fight his backup squad, which are all witches. And to be honest, they were a lot more dangerous than the vindicator. They kept throwing poison and insta damages at me, and I'm not gonna lie, I was about to die. So I panicked and started running away. I know these witches have arms, and they can throw those insta damage potions super far. So I munched down my golden apple and continued running. I was scared. Once I was back on the surface, I decided to give it a little break and mine some wood, because there was a lot of resources on this island that I needed. I then ran into a secret barrel that I haven't found found before. And this barrel had a bow and arrow in it. Yeah, this would be really helpful to fight these witches off. And I started shooting off the witches with my arrows. And they couldn't even touch me. This was amazing. And once they were dead, I ran into a part of the cavern that I haven't explored yet. And I was met with another trap. I stepped on some tripwire and poison and instant damage potion started shooting at me. Luckily, I just missed it. I would have died right then and there. But inside the chest, there was the mythical gem. Exactly what I was looking for. There was also the 5th diary and a super OP bow. This would be really helpful for my boss battles. And there was this weird iron door that was placed on the side of the cave. It totally doesn't scream open me and come in. So I tried to walk in, but I was way too fat to fit in. So I just broke down the door, FBI style. And this time I was super cautious for some traps. I turned the corner and there was just a big hole with lava at the bottom. Like, bruh, you couldn't hide yourself any better? This is taking hiding in plain sight to the fullest. I went to check out the chest on the other side and it was literally nothing. Just rabbit feet. Well, that was useless. But as I crossed back over the bridge, I accidentally slipped and fell down into the lava. Yeah, I thought I was done for until I landed into water. I was so confused. But the thing that confused me even more was that all the signs said PP on them. Were the builders trying to call me a PP? Yeah, I'm quite offended. Luckily, there was one chest down here with a whole bunch of junk, but there was one thing that was good, and that was my netherite Jordans. Hey, I'll take it. And after running into so many traps around the planet, I had a sneaky suspicion that this cave was hiding something. And while I was looking around looking for some clues, I noticed there was a hidden lever. I flipped it and nothing happened, which was weird. I then started mining all of the snow on the ground and I unrevealed a secret entrance. When I got down, I almost fell into another trap, but luckily I missed all of the insta damage potions. And there it was. There was a hidden library right underneath the cave. As I walked around, I noticed these paintings look really suspicious. I punched one of the paintings and a sign greeted me. So then I started punching all of the paintings and I was baited. There was nothing. Hey, free bookshelves though. Perfect to make an enchantment table. And in one of the barrels, there was a sharpness 5 enchantment, which was really nice, but I knew there was something else hiding in this room. I just felt it. I started by opening all of these trap doors and it revealed a secret hole in the wall. I wonder where this will lead me. I started making my own path and it led me into a big maze. Eventually, I ran into a hint. The sign says it blends with the block. Yeah, whatever that means. After countless dead ends, I finally ran into something different. This part had a redstone torch on it and some sand blocks. I then started following all of the sand on the ceiling and it led me to 2 trap doors. I hopped up the trap doors and it was a secret little water aquarium in the ground. It was full of colorful corals and everything, but there was no treasure at all. I thought I was baited again until I saw a little sliver that opened up in the ceiling. I swam through it and it was a little dry spot with a chest at the very end. I made sure to look out for traps and inside it there was 1 diamond, 1 netherite ingot and a book from one of my builders. Once I got back home, I opened the book to see what it says and it said, "Congrats, you made it to the treacher." Yeah, she failed spelling lessons. She totally misspelled treasure. But thanks for the little adventure. But most importantly, I finally got the mystical gem. And in the rocket ship, I finally noticed there were some slots specifically made for these gems. This slot was for the mystical gem in the mushroom planet. This slime ball one was for the corrosive gem for the slime planet. The glowstone slot was for the light gem found in the city planet. And lastly, this magma spot was for the magma gem found in the very scary lava planet. I slapped on the mystical gem and a firework shot out. That was a very good sign. That means I'm definitely on track. On day 26, I was getting quite hungry. So I harvested my potato farm and threw the potatoes into the furnace. And it's tradition to go for a snack break. Everybody get some water, hydrate yourself, and I'll be right back. After eating 1 entire KFC bucket full of fried chicken, my next objective was to get the corrosive gem in the Caustic planet. I wonder what mysterious boss will be guarding that gem. But before we do that, I decided to give Adam's knife back, since it only belongs to him. And then I spent the next 3 days working on a brand new house. I was sick of living in this cobblestone shack. I was practically homeless. I started off by mining some wood and clearing out the area to make some space for my new house. But while I was doing that, I came up with a great idea. Let's actually make my house inside one of these rockets from the spaceship. I looked inside one of the rockets and it was perfect. So I started destroying one of the wings, and once I had enough room, I broke down my cobblestone shack. I then started working on a staircase up to the rocket booster. And you guys know I had to make it a spiral staircase. Once it was connected to the door, it looked pretty ugly. It was so squared. So I took some time to round out the stairs and give it a little bit more detail, and here it is. It looks way better. I then started working on the interior of the booster. I made my home about 3 to 4 stories with some stairs. Then gave the front entrance a nice little design design, and that is my new house. I then started moving in. I slapped down my bed and put paintings everywhere for decoration. I also rebuilt my tree farm and then went to bed after a long 3 days of building. On day 31, it was finally time to get the corrosive gem and travel to another planet, and I started off by crafting some diamond armor. I only had enough for a chest plate and pants though. I also wanted to enchant it, so I went over to the mushroom planet and down the cave where I remember there was some obsidian. Once I got all that mined out, I placed down my enchantment table at the very top floor and started enchanting. I didn't have a lot of levels to work with though. I ended up getting silk touch on my pickaxe and protection 1 on all of my armor. I also went to go mine a whole bunch of blocks so I can actually build over to the planet. I then slept to make sure I had enough energy to fight the new boss. Once I was close by to the planet, I kept hearing a slime noise, and that can only mean one thing. The boss is definitely a giant slime, or it could be something else if you know what I mean. The planet still had a campfire running though. That tells me that Peter wasn't gone for long. Inside the barrel, I found the 6th diary and a bottle of beer, and like obviously I wasn't gonna waste it, so I had to drink it. And the diary mentioned something about a ladder on the side of the factory, so I started scouting out the planet. I noticed that there was a barrel on the side of the planet, so I yeeted myself down, and inside it was 2 pieces of ancient debris. I also noticed a big X on the ground. I'm not sure about you guys, but I learned one thing about being a child, and that is X marks the spot. And I found the treasure. It was full of good loot. I finally ran into the ladders on the side of the factory though, and started climbing like a monkey. I was also greeted by some burning phantoms. I'm not sure why they decided to attack me in the middle of the day. It wasn't a good sign though. And in one of the barrels that I found, there was another axolotl and a netherite sword. More importantly though, there was some food. Once I got into the factory, the slime noises got louder, and it got even more stinky. I must have been sweating or something. But there was another axolotl in here. I ran into another part of the factory, and what I saw surprised me so much. I found the cast of SpongeBob. I bet nobody was expecting that because I wasn't either. But hey, I'll take the Easter egg. I finally got to the top, and it was really smoky up here. I jumped down like the diary told me to, and fire charges started shooting out of nowhere. But luckily, I didn't take any damage. But all that exploring, I still couldn't find the corrosive gem until I broke into the factory, and there was a big hole in the middle. When I looked down, there was a whole bunch of green goo everywhere, and the smell was terrible. I didn't really want to go down there, but if that's where the gem is hiding, I have to. However, it was a pretty deep hole, and if I jumped down, I would have died. Luckily, there was a slow falling potion in one of the barrels. I drank it up and jumped down. It was time for war, and there was a giant slime down there, but one arrow shot killed him, and he split into 4 more giant slimes. And with this bow and arrow, it made it a lot easier to kill this boss. All I had to do was stand back and shoot. It was pretty nice, up until they got close to me and started attacking me. But I got so much blubber on me that it wasn't even doing any damage. With this layer of fat, I'm basically bulletproof, and all these baby slimes look like little boogers on the ground. But once I killed all of them, I checked inside the barrels. There was a 7th diary, a super OP netherite helmet, which was perfect because I only had an iron helmet, a lucky charm totem of undying, and exactly what I came here for, the corrosive gem. Once I got back home to my spaceship, I put the gem down and another firework shot out. And now I obtained the mythical gem and the corrosive gem, one conquered from the mushroom planet and the other from the caustic planet. On day 41, I released my 2 axolotls. The pink one was super cute, but the one named Moon was even cuter. I also placed down the SpongeBob family. Now I have 3 imaginary friends. I think I sounded a little too happy saying that. It was also bugging me that my planet looked so dead and dry. There was just no life and no color to it. So I had the amazing idea to completely clean out the top surface of the planet and change it all into dirt and grass. I made a diamond shovel, enchanted it with efficiency 2, and headed over to the mushroom planet for some dirt. I then spent the next couple of days mining enough dirt to cover my entire planet, and this was a lot of mining. I then started covering the planet with dirt, and there was still a lot of glass everywhere covering most of the planet. So I used my silk touch pickaxe to mine all of the glass away. And mining glass is pretty slow, so this took a while. But with this one simple transition, we are done. And it looks really good. The only problem is there is no grass anywhere. It's just all dirt. And by the looks of it, I was hoping the city planet would have some grass somewhere, so I can silk touch it and bring it over to this planet. So I started bridging over there, and I jumped onto the airship. And inside one of these airships, there were a lot of barrels. Unfortunately, they were all empty. And the first thing I saw on the planet was an illager. At first, I thought it was an evoker, so I had my bow aimed at him. But as I got closer, turns out he was a friendly. And there was a ton to explore on this planet. The first things I ran into was a dolphin spawn egg and barrels full of fish. I also found the 8th diary and a slowness 6 potion. I have no idea what this would be for. I also ran into a sewer system. I'm not sure about you guys, but after watching a lot of movies, this looks like an entrance to something. We'll explore that later. I then ran into my first dock guard. He wasn't doing a great job guarding the dock though, and I punched him right off the planet. He almost hit me with his last arrow though. Close, but not close enough. Eventually, I found what I was looking for. Luckily, there were grass blocks all over the village, so I started still touching all of it I can find. That was until I ran into a huge planting area full of grass. grass. And I spent all night mining it. Voila, it's all gone. And as I was reading the diary, it mentioned something about the boss room being hidden in one of these houses. So I spent the next couple of days raiding all of the homes. The first chest I found inside the house was a barrel with leaves in it. A great way to start. I also found some eggs so I can make a Popeyes farm and a parrot spawn egg at the top of the house. And these houses are pretty detailed. Big shout out to all of my builders. Once I got outside, I was attacked by pillagers. They were planning an attack on me while I was busy. But then I got distracted on how beautiful these houses look. And there goes my ADHD. I then raided the next home and found some raw iron, another barrel with steak and a golden apple, and then got met by a dock guard. I then got some more raw iron and gold, and on a bridge I found a fox spawn egg. Nice, another friend. I found this secret ladder though in one of these houses. I wonder where it would lead me. When I jumped down, I landed inside the sewer. I knew this sewer would lead me somewhere. After running up and down the stinky sewer, I ran into a sign telling me that I can crouch under this and telling me that I'm not dumb. Well, I mean, I kind of am, because I wouldn't have known I could crouch under that. And it led me right into a big hole in the sewer, and under there was a big room. This must be where the boss is at and where the hidden gem is located. And to me, the boss looked like an evoker. And if you guys watch my other videos, you guys know that I do not like evokers. So I decided fighting this boss will be for another day. I still had more of the planet to explore, but the boss must have heard me and sent an evoker to attack me. I quickly killed him and tried my best to kill all of the flying monkeys. Oh, I hate those things so much. They're so scary and fast and small. It haunts me in my dreams. But luckily, I got an extra totem of undying. The last remaining barrels were full of Popeye's chicken and a name tag. Also some potions that would be really helpful for battle. But I knew the boss evoker was waiting on me. And if I didn't come soon, he would eventually send an army to attack me. So with that being said, I went home instead and ran away from my problems. I started using the grass blocks that I got and I placed them all around my planet so all of my dirt can turn into grass. And I decided to go for another snack break. So everybody go get some water, go hydrate yourself, and after this simple transition, most of the grass has finally grown onto the planet. It's looking real nice already. On day 61, I spent some time planting some oak saplings and spruce saplings all over the planet. I also took some bamboo and planted it all around, just for some extra greenery. I also wanted to spawn in my fox. So I headed back to the city to grab some sweet berries. And there was a lot around. Once I spawned him in, I fed him and he ran away. I was wondering why I couldn't feed him more. I wanted to tame him. I kept chasing him around trying to feed him. That was until he fell into the water and I thought it was my chance to tame him. And I just realized I can't really tame a fox. Yeah, I'm kind of stupid. So instead I spawned in my parrot and fed her some seeds. Let's name her William. I mean, that's kind of a guy name, but you guys know what I mean. And I sat her down right in front of the staircase to guard it. I also spawned in my panda and fed him some bamboo. And wow, they are so cute when they're eating bamboo. I didn't even know this was an animation in Minecraft. It's so cute. So I kept feeding him until he got really fat. And turns out this panda is so thick. Look at that curve on his back. It kind of reminds me of myself. I also wanted to spawn in my dolphin with my axolotls, but their home was a little too small. So I started doing some renovating. I started by making the pond a little bigger. And once I filled it up all with water, I put down the dolphin egg and they were swimming around quite happily. Hopefully the axolotls don't gang up and kill my dolphin. But all four of them were looking really cute together. I also grabbed my name tag and named it Chase and slapped it onto my dolphin. Everybody say hi to my dolphin Chase. I then went over to the mushroom planet to grab some sandstone so I can place it at the bottom of the pool. And once I got all the sandstone placed down, I woke up in the morning and found my dolphin was gone. I have no idea where he went. I was kind of upset. Everybody put RIP Chase in the comments. And on day 67, I finally think it's time to go fight the evoker boss and go get myself the light gem. I jumped down the sewer ready for war and took fall damage and got left at 1.5 hearts. Yeah, that didn't go according to plan and I ran for my life. I'm not gonna lie, I thought I looked pretty cool jumping down the sewer. I swear I landed in water. Once I healed up again, I jumped back down and took more fall damage. I was so confused until I realized the ground is covered in glass blocks. I thought it was water the entire time. I saw a barrel and ran to it, and the barrel was loaded. It had a netherite sword of sharpness 5 on it and the light gem. That was all I needed. I just had to get past him and escape. So I took the netherite sword and went to go beat him up. I started swinging my sword at him and shooting my bow and arrow at the vexes flying around me. And he also had a totem of undying in his hand. He must have sacrificed his brother or something. Soon enough, I killed him and got his totem of undying. I then got rid of all of the vexes and made my run for it. I slapped it into my spaceship and a firework shot out. And now all I need is the magma gem. And once I collect all 4, I will finally be Thanos. Nah, I'm just kidding. I have no idea what it's gonna do. But the last gem is in the magma planet, and this one looks scary. I wonder what boss is hiding in there. On day 71, I realized I only had a tribute to Adam and not any of the dead passengers. So I went back into the caves and collected all of the heads. And I started building a tribute to every single person that died. And for some reason, there were duplicate heads. Maybe there were twins on board or something, or a clone. I have no idea. But I built some dual-headed people. One guy had horizontal heads and the other guy had vertical heads. The vertical head guy had super long arms. It looks pretty funny. He's gonna hold fried chicken in one hand and leaves in the other. And the other guy, well, I gave them 2 slime balls. Yeah, I'm sure you guys know what that is. They really need a shower though. It's looking kind of green and slimy. I still have 2 villager spawn eggs though. But before I make them a home, I have to make a farm to feed them. So I started constructing a carrot farm. And once I planted the carrots, now we wait. I didn't have a lot of space to make a villager home though. So I decided, let's make it in the other rocket booster on the other side. So I made a bridge or a pathway right through the spaceship and started making some beds for the villagers. And I did the same thing on my house. I made some staircases and then slapped down the beds for the villagers. I came up with a nice design for the entrance of their house and slapped the villagers down. But once they were down, they started panicking because a raid was happening. And this one guy was spinning in circles so fast and sweating balls. He was scared for his life. So I ran over to the city to kill all of the pillagers. And looky here, they were already on the bridge. But when they all died, the raid came back. I went to the city to kill all of the pillagers, but the raid was still happening. So I just kind of forgot about it and moved on. On day 75, since I had so many eggs, I started constructing a Popeye's chicken factory farm. I need some fried chicken on this planet. And once the farm was complete, I put down a hopper and some chests to collect the eggs. And I finally harvested the carrots and tried feeding the villagers to make them happy, but they were afraid of food. This raid was really scaring them and I had no idea what to do. I couldn't find where the raid was happening. I woke up to day 76 and my fox in my chicken factory. This man ate all of my baby chickens, so I threatened to kill him with my bow and arrow, but I thought let's instead put him to jail. I dragged him over to a corner and trapped him in some fences. That is what you get for being a murderer. You get life in prison. But I'll be heading to the magma planet anytime now. And Peter told me the boss in here is dangerous, so I have to prepare. I needed to make an XP farm, so I went over to the city to grab a lot of resources like wood. And this took me a couple of days just mining away the city. But then I turned all of the logs into planks and then into slabs to save on some wood, because you guys know I'm pretty cheap, even in a block game, and started construction on my new mob farm. And I'm sure you guys have seen me build this at least 100 times, so here's a quick montage. And there we go, the mob farm is complete. I started collecting a whole bunch of levels and disenchanted my chest plate and pants, and enchanted both of them with level 30, and also enchanted my netherite boots to protection 4. I also spent an entire day enchanting to get efficiency 4 and unbreaking on all of my tools. And with my remaining levels, I took my sharpness 5 book that I got from looting the planets and combined it with my axe. And so far I have been on the mushroom planet, the city planet, and the caustic planet. But the problem is I never conquered them and claimed them, so I spent a day collecting some leaves, my favorite part of the video. I love my leaves so much I even started shearing all of them away from the trees that are around my planet. Yeah, now I have little sticks of wood coming from the ground, but it's all worth it. But hey, I did leave one leaf on this tree though. It looks pretty stupid, but I didn't deforestation everything. And on day 88 to 90, it was time to conquer and claim all of the planets and name them the cookie planet. I made a giant cookie sign on the mushroom planet, and when I was done, you couldn't really see it because it was already green in the background, so I took some oak planks and made a background. And there we go, it looks a lot better and it pops out. I then repeated the same thing on the caustic planet and the city planet. And there we go, I have claimed all 3 planets now, and now I am just left with one, the lava planet. And before I go fight the boss and try to get the gem, I had to make a mark on my own planet, so I put leaves all over the rocket ship and my planet. So if I die and somebody finds me, they know I have been here. And when I was done, the planet looks a lot better with leaves. It adds some nice greenery to everything, even though I chopped down all of the trees. And I can already hear the boss in the lava planet getting angry. I knew my time was coming. The boss was getting prepared. So I started constructing a massive cookie flag. I made it pretty tall so people can see it, and I made it out of gray wool and it looks pretty good. I then covered it up with item frames all over and filled up each item frame with a cookie. So now we can call it the cookie planet and the cookie flag. I have conquered this universe. I just have one more planet to go, and then the cookie army will grow. I also left the chest at the bottom of the flag and put all of the diaries in order just in case I died. I also put a row of cookies, some goodies like potions, a shield, some leaves, and I left a little note in my personal diary that Peter has left me. And then I got myself prepared for battle. This might be the last time I'm alive on this planet. And bright and early in the morning, I started bridging over to the lava planet. And once it got close, a boss bar popped up, and his name was the Ash Beast. That really sounds like the Ass Beast, but let's not focus on the details. And once I got on the planet, I already started burning. It was hot in here. I looked inside one of the barrels, and there was pants, a golden apple, and a blast protection book. I think this was telling me something. And the other barrel had a strength 2 potion. potion. Thanks, I'll probably need it. I then went over to the center and looked down the crater in the planet, and I saw the ash beast waiting for me. I shot an arrow at him, and that was a mistake because I awakened him. Suddenly, a bunch of magma cubes and blazes started spawning, and I fought them all off. It was getting quite overwhelming though. There was a lot. And once I killed this blaze, I started killing all of the baby cubes. It was finally time. I jumped down into the hole, and I was ready for battle. I landed into the water, and he instantly started shooting at me. And I kept trying to swing my sword at him, but he kept flying up in the air. So I started shooting my bow, and I kept missing. He was way too close. And every single time I caught on fire or he launched me into the air, I kept using my water bucket to save me. And he was blowing everything up around us. I was super scared he was gonna blow up the chest with the magma gem in it. So I kept running around as I tried to hit him. Eventually, he got in a pretty good spot where I can keep shooting arrows at him, and I did a lot of damage. I then threw my strength 2 potion down, and this is when I started doing a ton of damage. Once he came at me, I started using my sword, and he was taking heavy hits. I then gave him the final blow and killed the ash beast. Let's go. I completely conquered the boss universe. I couldn't find another star anywhere though. I think it burned up, but nonetheless, this was a huge accomplishment. I then ran over to the cave, and there was a barrel inside, and there it is, the magma gem, the final one. Also 2 notch apples and crafting materials for a beacon, but I lost another star. Also Peter Schmidt's head. So it turns out this is where he died, fighting off the ash beast. I also found another barrel hidden at the top, and there was another axolotl called Sun. We have collected all 4 gems and all 4 axolotls. The lava planet is mine now. And to make that official, I need a cookie sign, a huge one. So I went back home to plant more trees for leaves and waited all day for them to grow. And while I waited, of course I went for a snack break. You know, I'm always hungry. It was a pretty intense battle too. But once I got back, I started shearing the leaves, and on day 100, I built the giant cookie sign on the lava planet. And it looked pretty good once I was done, but I also had to add the oak plank background behind it, so it really pops out. And there we go. We officially claimed the entire universe of the bosses. In these 100 days, I found the missing mechanical piece, obtained the mystical gem from the mushroom planet, the corrosive gem from the caustic planet, the light gem from the city planet, and now we have the magma gem. We have completed the entire puzzle. I then started hearing a bunch of fireworks being shot out from somewhere, and from the tip of the spaceship, it was shooting a bunch of fireworks. We're pretty lucky the fireworks weren't white in color, and red to be honest, as that would have been even worse. But all jokes aside, we have completed the mission and avenged Peter Schmidt and Adam, and then the fireworks suddenly stopped at night. Welp, I guess the only thing I can do now is hop in the spaceship and get out of this place, off to another universe. All right, let's head back into the spaceship. Here goes nothing. Hopefully it works. Okay, and off we go. What universe should I travel to in my next 100 days? Let me know in the comments below. This video took a very long time, so please subscribe if you guys are new, and I'll see you guys later.